Have you ever caught yourself thinking, if only I had done things differently? Or, I wish I could go back to how things were. It's easy to get stuck in the past, especially when life has given us so many memories, both sweet and bittersweet. But here's the truth. The past is behind us, and the present is where our happiness lives. Ladies, if you're in your 60s or beyond, this is your time. A time to let go of what no longer serves you and embrace the joy that's still waiting to be discovered. Maybe you've spent years caring for others, putting their needs first, or worrying about what people think. But now is the moment to focus on you, to live lighter, freer, and happier. In this video, we'll talk about simple but powerful habits to leave behind. Habits that might be weighing you down without you even realizing it. Things like holding on to regrets, trying to please everyone, or fearing change. These are things many of us struggle with, but the good news is we can choose to let them go. And when we do, we make room for more peace, more confidence, and more joy in our daily lives. So, let's start with the first habit to release living in the past. You know, there's a saying, the past is a place of reference, not residence. And isn't that the truth? It's so easy to linger in memories, replaying old mistakes, missing how things used to be, or even just wondering, what if? But here's the thing, while our past shapes us, it doesn't have to define us. Think about it. When we spend too much time looking backward, we miss what's right in front of us. The laughter of a grandchild, the warmth of a morning cup of tea, the quiet beauty of a sunset. These are the moments that make life rich now. And the truth is, no amount of wishing can change what's already happened. But we can change how we let it affect us today. Maybe you've carried regrets, things you wish you'd said or done differently, or perhaps you find yourself comparing today to the good old days. But here's a gentle reminder, those good old days weren't perfect either. Nostalgia has a way of softening the edges, making us forget the struggles we once had. The present may look different, but that doesn't mean it's any less valuable. So how do we start living more in the now? Try this. Catch yourself when your mind drifts to the past. Gently bring it back by focusing on something small but wonderful in this moment. The sound of birds outside, the comfort of your favorite chair, or even just taking a deep breath and feeling grateful for another day. And if regrets weigh heavy on your heart, consider this. Every choice you made brought you to where you are today. Maybe there were missteps, but there was also so much strength in your journey. You've lived, learned, and loved, and that's something to celebrate. The past is like a book on a shelf. You can revisit it now and then, but you don't have to reread it every day. Today is a new page, and it's yours to write. Second, don't try to please everyone. How many times in your life have you said yes when you really wanted to say no? If you really like most women our age, you've spent decades putting others first, your family, your friends, even strangers who needed help. That kindness is one of your greatest strengths. But here's something important to remember. You don't have to keep doing it at the expense of your own happiness. There's a freedom that comes with this stage of life, the freedom to finally put yourself first sometimes. Your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. That doesn't make you selfish, it makes you wise. Think about it, Ty. When you're constantly trying to make everyone else happy, who's looking out for you? I'll tell you a little secret I learned today. You could bend over backwards trying to please everyone, and someone will still find something to criticize. That's not about you, that's about them. What truly matters is how you feel about yourself. Are you living in a way that feels right to you? Are you making choices that bring you peace? Start small. Next time someone asks for a favor, pause before automatically saying yes. Ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Do I have the energy? If the answer is no, that's perfectly okay. A polite "I am sorry, I can tea this time" is all you need. You might worry about disappointing people, but you'll be amazed at how quickly they adjust and how much lighter you'll feel. Remember, every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to yourself, to more time, more energy, and more joy. And that's not just good for you. It's good for everyone around you too. When you're happier and more fulfilled, you have even more love to give on your own terms. Third, don't be afraid of change. Change can feel scary, can't it? Especially when we've spent decades building routines and rhythms that feel comfortable. But here's something beautiful. I've discovered change isn't the enemy of happiness. It's often the path to it. Think about all the changes you've already weathered in your life. Each one brought its challenges, but didn't they also bring unexpected gifts? Our bodies change. Our families change. The world around us changes. Fighting these changes is like trying to hold back the tide, exhausting and ultimately impossible. But when we learn to flow with change rather than resist it, we find a new kind of strength. Like that old saying, goes the willow bends but doesn't break. I remember when my children first suggested I get a smartphone. I resisted for years. My old flip phone works just fine, I'd say. But you know what? When I finally embraced it, I discovered video calls with my grandchildren and the joy of sharing photos instantly. It wasn't about the technology. It was about staying connected to what matters most. Change doesn't have to be big to be meaningful. Maybe it's trying a new hobby now that you have more time, or adjusting your routine to better suit your current energy levels. Even small shifts in perspective can make a world of difference. Instead of thinking, I've never done it that way before, try asking, what could I gain from trying something new? Here's the truth. You're more adaptable than you think. You've already proven that by living through so many seasons of life. This next chapter might look different than what came before, but different doesn't mean worse. It can mean wiser, freer, and more authentically you than ever before. Fourth, don't put yourself down. You know that voice in your head that says, I look old, or I can't wear that anymore. Let's talk about that critical inner voice we've all carried for far too long. When we look in the mirror and focus on wrinkles instead of wisdom, on gray hair instead of the incredible life those strands have witnessed, we're doing ourselves a great disservice. Our society has sold us this idea that aging is something to fight, to hide, to be ashamed of. But think about this. Every line on your face tells a story. Those laugh lines, they're proof of a life well lived, full of joy and connection. Those strong hands, they've comforted, created, and cared for others through decades of love. I want you to try something powerful today. Stand in front of the mirror, and instead of listing what you think is wrong, name 3 things you appreciate about yourself. Maybe it's your warm smile that makes others feel welcome. Maybe it's your eyes that still sparkle with curiosity about life. Or perhaps it's your resilience, that incredible strength that's carried you through both joys and sorrows. The truth is, beauty doesn't expire, it evolves. The vibrant beauty of youth transforms into the deep, radiant beauty of experience. When we stop comparing ourselves to younger versions or unrealistic standards, we make space to appreciate the remarkable women we are today. And this isn't just about appearance. It's about recognizing your worth in every way. You are valuable exactly as you are right now, with all your experiences, your quirks, your hard-won wisdom. The world needs what you have to offer, not in spite of your age, but because of it. So the next time that critical voice pipes up, gently remind yourself, this is me, and I am enough, because you truly are today and always. Fifth, don't overthink. Have you ever laid awake at night, replaying conversations from 20 years ago, or found yourself stuck in endless what-if scenarios that never actually happen? My dear friend, you are not alone. Many of us have spent lifetimes being the family worriers, the ones who always looked ahead to spot potential problems before they arose. But here's the truth: we've earned the right to know. Most of what we worry about never comes to pass. That mental energy we spend on imagined problems is precious fuel we could be using to enjoy our lives right now. Think about it. When we are caught in cycles of overthinking, we are missing the actual moments of our lives. The taste of our morning coffee, the sound of birds singing outside, the comfort of a grandchild's hug. These real, tangible joys get overshadowed by thoughts about things that may never be. I learned a wonderful lesson from my granddaughter recently. She said, "Grandma, you can change anything by worrying about it twice." Out of the mouths of babes, right? She's absolutely correct. Either we can handle a situation when it arises, or we can but worrying about it in advance doesn't help either way. Here's a simple practice that's helped me break the overthinking habit. When I catch myself spiraling into what ifs, I ask, is this happening right now? If not, I consciously bring myself back to the present moment. I might focus on my breathing or name 5 things I can see around me. It's amazing how this simple act can ground us back in reality. Remember, your mind is meant to be your ally, not your tormentor. All those years of experience have given you incredible wisdom. Trust it. You've handled challenges before, and you'll handle whatever comes next. But between now and then, there's life to be lived fully, joyfully, and in the present moment. 6. Don't let age define you. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "At my age, I shouldn't," or "I am too old for that"? Let's have a heart-to-heart about these limiting beliefs we've absorbed over the years. That number in your birthday cards, it's just mathematics. It doesn't measure your vitality, your curiosity, or your capacity for joy. I want you to think about something remarkable. Right now, somewhere in the world, there's an 80-year-old running marathons, a 70-year-old starting a new business, and a 90-year-old painting masterpieces. These aren't exceptions to the rule. They reproof that age is what we make of it. The only real limits are the ones we place on ourselves. Remember when you were younger and people told you, "You can do that," and then you went ahead and did it anyway. That fiery spirit still lives in you. Maybe it's been quiet for a while, buried under responsibilities and expectations, but it's still there, waiting to be rediscovered. Here's what I've learned. When we stop seeing ourselves through the lens of age, amazing things happen. We start noticing opportunities instead of limitations. That gardening project you've been putting off, that book you've wanted to write, that new skill you've been curious about, they not waiting for some perfect future time. They waiting for you to say, "Why not now?" Your body may have its own wisdom about pacing yourself, and that's okay. The point isn't to ignore your physical reality. but to refuse to let a number dictate what brings you happiness. Whether it's traveling, learning, creating, or simply approaching each day with a sense of adventure, these aren't privileges of youth, but possibilities for anyone with an open heart. So the next time you are tempted to say, "I am too old," try replacing it with, "I am experienced enough to try this my way." Because the truth is, you are not getting older, you are becoming more uniquely yourself with each passing day. And that self, she is capable of wonderful things at any age.